Hey, good evening, my friends. How are you? Welcome to another edition of Wednesday Night Live with me, Mike Avery, here on most of my social media outlets. Hey, Craig, how you doing, buddy? Bring it down a little bit more. Whoops, where'd we go? Randy, how are you? John? Not much. What's happening with you? Hello, Cliff. Nice to have you along with us again. Gene, appreciate that. It's a sharp truck, no doubt about that. Hello, Rex. How are you tonight? Where'd John go? Yeah, it was a pleasure having you on the show, John. Jim, nice to have you with us, of course. Rick, Sean, Judy was with us on the show this week as well. Christmas was great. In fact, now you're going to see I've got a light over here in my office, a light over here going out, so it comes back off and on. It doesn't affect the lighting on me too much, but you can see it off on the background. Whoops, I did not mean to have that turned on. There we go. So you can see it kind of screws things up, but I'll change that later. Santa was good to me. You ask how my Christmas was. I got some new flicker shads. Number seven flicker shads. Number 9 flicker minnows. Santa was good. David, good evening. How are you? Hello, Ben. Nice to have you along with us. Davina, always a pleasure. My name is Mike Avery, and this is Wednesday Night Live. Hello, Kevin. Hello, Bob. George, thanks for joining us tonight. Corey, how are you? David, appreciate it. Dennis, thanks for joining me on this edition of Wednesday Night Live. We've got 2 people on the show tonight who are actually on the radio show this weekend. You're watching Doze a bit ago in the daylight backyard and thought about me. I appreciate that, Corey. I think I'm done. Davina, I did get that. That's not a surprise. That's been known for a long time about keeping the Saginaw River open. But also, it was a nice reminder to know to let people know that the limits change there as well. Where did Johnny go? Hey, say hi to everybody at Andy's for me, Johnny. Hope you have a nice night tonight. Kevin checking in from downriver. So we got Johnny watching us in Seney. We got Kevin watching us from downriver. I did, Paul. I hope you did as well. Craig. Hey, thanks, Jim. I appreciate that. Yeah, I like that truck. It's a sharp one. There's no doubt about it. Hello, Denise. How are you? Yeah, Davina, it just talks about how the river will remain open to fishing until up to the Center Street Bridge. And also, starting the first of the year, the limits will change there, too. They'll be like Saginaw. Well, it's the same, I think it isn't it? 13-inch fish and 8 fish. I think that's the same. Lewiston checking in as well. Hey, Bill, how you doing, buddy? I bet you are not down south because you got hit pretty hard by the hurricane, right? Johnny says they have a new menu and everything looks great. The place is packed. I'm so happy for you guys there. Closed for a long time. Scott, good evening. How are you? Decent ice, yes. Where'd Tony go? Hey, Tony. I look forward to seeing you here in just a few weeks. Ross, same with you, my friend. Captain Todd, how are you? Yeah, Kevin, I'm seeing reports of decent ice, but the question is for how long? We've got some warm temperatures coming in. Corey, this is interesting. I knew there was a guy missing on the river. I didn't realize he was missing on the bay. Is this 2 different incidents, my friend? I know we've got somebody who went through the ice on the river and didn't come back up in the same hole. Is this the same as the thing on the bay? Good evening, Stan. How are you? Very little damage. Bill, good. I'm glad to hear that. Davina says she's not sure if she's downriver or not. Hey, Scott, how are you? 60 years of fishing the bay, now small lakes and trout streams. I'm not going anywhere, John. Not going anywhere at all. Good evening, Dave. How are you? 7 inches on Lake Misaki. Scott says, any word from the Coast Guard on that shanty that was found empty on the bay? I wasn't aware of this one. Scott, didn't know anything about that. Evening, Jerry. How are you? Thanks, John. Appreciate that. It's, I don't know. I never want to be the first person on the ice. I'm not one of those people who says ice is never safe because, of course, it is. I'm not going to be the first guy out there. Heard the river fall was fake. Okay, Tom, appreciate that. Hey, John, nice to have you along with us. And Nick Grillo, yes, they have a shanty on floating ice chunks, but no people found. Coast Guard's been flying around looking for anybody in the water. But what that could have been is just a shanty that was out there and broke free, right? So there's not necessarily somebody in there. Although Corey's now saying there was a shanty found that was empty, had kids' gloves and man's gloves in it. I've had the airborne angler on the show before, Brian. I've had him on several times. But you're right. It'd be a good time to get him back on. They've suspended the search. Bert, good evening. How are you? Eli, how you doing? Jackson County. What were you doing downstate? I thought you were a UP guy. Eli, am I wrong? I thought you were a UP guy. Kevin says, him either. Last one on the ice, first one off. Yeah. Ice fishing just doesn't appeal to me that much anymore. But I tell you what does appeal to me is that I need to listen to my buddy Scott Hand and others and keep the angler quest in the water next fall. Craig says Bucks are using their axe already. John was on the ice with his dad Monday. Inland Lake, though, or Saginaw Bay or the Saginaw River, John. Two completely different scenarios. Davina's thanking Nick for the ham. We will give away one last Michigan brand ham for the holidays about 7:20 tonight. Gotcha. You live downstate but have a camp in the UP. Okay, Eli, I appreciate that. Thanks, Mike, for the comments. James, nice to have you along with us. Houghton Lake and then a smaller lake. Okay. Yeah, that's a different story than Saginaw Bay or the Saginaw River for sure. Anyway, my name is Mike Avery. This is Wednesday Night Live. Johnny says, after the live, I'll send you a message. Wait till you read about a snowmobiler that just say passed away. Okay. He just say passed away. My name is Mike Avery. This is Wednesday Night Live. I do this on my social media outlets every Wednesday night at 7 o'clock. If we have a social media guru out here, and I don't believe there are any social media gurus because you can't pin it down. It's always moving. I need to find out a way to go live on Facebook as well as Instagram at the same time using the StreamYard platform. Facebook or Instagram does not want to play well with StreamYard. The only way I can go live to Instagram right now is to use a second device, and then all of the comments will be only on that second device. I can't get them all together like I can right now. Alan, how are you? Scott Fish Lake Fenton machines were on 6 inches of ice. 6 inches of good ice, I'll take that. But after the weekend, will we still have 6 inches of good ice or not? Hard to believe. Remember when Mark Torregrossa was on the radio show about a month ago? This is the last Wednesday Night Live of 2022. Remember when Torregrossa was on the radio show about a month ago, and he said, get ready for a weather roller coaster? I didn't. I believed Mark, but I had no idea he was talking this much of a roller coaster. Scott says they'll be back on the open water next week. Kevin says warmer winds out of the south tonight, warmer tomorrow and Friday. Wouldn't go near the bay, but there will be people on the bay. You and I both know that. Kevin, we both know that. Who's on the show this week? Hey, Lance Valentine, how you doing, buddy? Happy New Year to you, my friend. Martin says he's got to have a foot of ice. See, Lance Valentine's like me. Well, he's not like me because he knows far more about fishing than I do, but he's like me in that he doesn't really have an interest in ice fishing. Jeff, good evening. How are you? Check out Lance Valentine at Teachin' Fishin'. TeachinFishin.com is the website. He's also on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram as well. If you want to learn more, if you want to learn about fishing, this guy right here, Lance Valentine, in particular, trolling, electronics, and walleye fishing, Lance Valentine is your guy. Who's on the show this week? Well, I've got a lot of things I want to talk about tonight, but if you're asking me right now who's on the show this week, I'll tell you. A lady who is on here with us tonight, her name is Judy Lynn Black. She is an avid hunter and an angler from northern Michigan. She has enjoyed a lifetime of outdoor adventures, and she's written a book about it called Follow Your Arrow. She's my first guest this week. Then John Callison, who is also on with us tonight. He's the president of the CMU Bass Fishing Club. And then Tom Campbell of Woods and Water News. In hour number 2, Captain Jerry Link of Originator Charters out of St. Joe. He's on the St. Joe River fishing for steelhead as we talk with him. And then I had hoped to have Nick Green of MUCC on, but He's out west bird hunting, and I just couldn't get a hold of him. This week's Ask Avery segment deals with the concept of coy wolves, and I'm coming back to that in a minute. Coy wolves. What day is it, Mike? Mike, what day is it? It's hump day. That gives you an idea of my energy level tonight. It's hump day. And then in the third hour, Beagles and Bunnies with Corky Legui. Corky and his family are well known throughout the state. Hey, Terry, how are things in Shingleton? 28 inches of snow over the weekend. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, Mark Romanek, good guy. He's also very, very knowledgeable. No doubt about that. Good afternoon, Marty. How are you? Lance said if somebody could get him on fish fast, but just no desire to sit on the ice and wait. 28 inches of snow. Johnny Bowler spent the whole weekend plowing snow. And of course, we wrap it all up with Wild Game Chef Extraordinaire Dixie Dave Miner. If you want to go to Dixie Dave's restaurant, Oscar and Joey's Roadhouse, you should go. Well, you've got to go before Saturday night's the last night he's open. Saturday night is the last night that Oscar and Joey's Roadhouse is open for business ever. New Year's Eve. And then he's done. They are, aren't they? Those elk are absolutely massive, beautiful, big critters. Hey, Vance, how you doing? You talk about elk. Jeff, you talk about elk. This guy right here, Vance Gowell, is one of the best elk guides in Michigan. He manages like a 1,500-acre farm up by Vanderbilt, I think. He's right there in the heart of elk country. Oh, I need to post that other picture you sent me too, Vance, the tribal hunter. If you ever get an elk tag, Vance Gowell is one of the guys you should talk to. If you want to get an elk tag, you need to apply for the Pure Michigan Hunt. Now, there are other ways to get elk tags, but I think your odds of getting an elk tag are better through the Pure Michigan Hunt than they are the elk drawing. And you have, again, until midnight, New Year's Eve to apply. Michigan.gov/DNR. I'd say elk. And then the only thing better than that's moose, in my opinion. Moose is the best wild game I've ever had. I've only had moose in Manitoba. Patrick's getting ready to call it quits for the season. I'm done hunting. He's still got a bunch of does coming in. I've given up on him. Hey, it's the Lance and Vance show, fishing and hunting. Absolutely, Lance, it is. Checked the trail cam today, took down tree stands, still have 6 different bucks and a bunch of does coming in Branch County. Excellent, Patrick. Good for you. Johannesburg. Joburg, 12 miles east of Gaylord. There's your man, Vance Gowell, right there. Yeah, I'm done. I listen, honestly, realistically, how hard is it to shoot a doe in Michigan? Anybody that can't shoot a doe over a 3-month period in Michigan must be a real loser. I'm a real loser. I wasn't able to do it. I didn't have an adult doe in front of me the entire season. I didn't have an adult buck in front of me the entire season. Now, it's me. I get it. I understand that. It's not you. It's me. I get that. But holy cow. So 2022 was an interesting year for me because I didn't shoot a bear, I didn't shoot a turkey, and I didn't shoot a deer. So some of my goals for 23, and I never set New Year's resolutions. Because resolutions are designed to be broken. Yeah, Ross, but if we're going to play that game, I didn't shoot a cub. Anyway, I set goals. So what my goal for 2023, I'm going to shoot a bear when I'm in Ontario. I'm going to move my bear hunt to the springtime this year in Ontario. I want to shoot a Michigan bear. I want to shoot a Michigan whitetail. I haven't shot a Michigan whitetail in a long, long, long time. I mean, I haven't shot a deer in probably 15 years, at least, maybe pushing 20. So there you go. At least you have a freezer full of brats. Mike Hampton, the guy that I'm going to go to, I posted pictures of that new, it's a 2022. It's not a 23, a 2022 Chevy Silverado ZR2. People joked around, yeah, I broke off the upper ball joint a couple of weeks ago, and they said, yeah, you did that and you got a new truck. I didn't get a new truck because of that, but that honestly, that did get me thinking. I do 3-year leases on my vehicles. And every year at the end of the second year, because I drive so many miles, we end up getting out of that lease and getting into a new lease. And it reminded me when that happened, hey, it's time to get in touch with the folks at Garber Chevy and see if it still makes sense to upgrade. And they said, absolutely. They said the used truck market is starting to get a little softer than what it was. So they said, let's pull the trigger and take advantage of it now while we can still get a good price for your old truck. So I got a ZR2. I like the ZR2 because it's like a trail boss. It's lifted already 2 inches higher than the standard Silverado, but it's only got 33-inch tires on it. My old truck, we lifted it 2.5 inches in the front and 2 inches in the back, and we being Mike Hampton, put 35s on it. So I've been talking to Mike. I really want to get bigger tires on this new ZR2. I'd like to be able to put 35s under it if we don't have to lift the front end, because I don't want to lift it anymore. So anyway, Mike's your guy right there. Mike's your guy right there. Hey, Ruben, how are things in Colorado? Yeah, I'm looking forward to turkey season already. Hey, John, how you doing, buddy? John shot what? 4 doe for the freezer and the farmer first year, do you remember, with no buck? Kevin's looking to swap his 1500 for a 2500. That ZR2 is a pretty sweet rig, I have to admit. It's probably the nicest truck I've ever owned. I've owned some nice trucks. Mike, right back at you, Mike. Good evening, David. How are you? Your brother's over at Andy's right now. That's no surprise, though. I don't blame him. Lots and lots of snow in Colorado, Ruben says. Hey, Tim, I didn't say hi to you. How you doing, buddy? Tim, you're the guy I met up. You were up bear hunting with Johnny, right? Good to see you. What happened to all the turkeys? I'll tell you what. You want to have that discussion, Rick? The guy you want to talk to is Scott Hand. What happened to all the turkeys? It's a legitimate question. It's a question that's asked very often these days, and that's like the $64,000 question. You don't bait for turkeys, Davina, in Michigan. You can't bait. It's illegal to bait for turkeys. You have to use a decoy or just call them in. But you can't use bait. Punch the tag on a 10-point. Nice. Ross has a 2021 RST version like yours. Do you like it, Ross? You know, Tony, that's a good question. Yeah, that's right, David. He's at home. You know, I'm looking at that truck and it's like, it looks so nice without the wrap. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I'm going to put some kind of graphics, some kind of logos on it, but I'm debating whether to tone down the wrap that I had last year or wrap it. It's going to get something, but I don't want to screw up the beautiful lines of that truck. It is a great ride, isn't it? Rick used to have 20 behind the house. Now there's 2 or 3. Oh, in about 2 minutes. Let me tell you how this is going to work. And then we're going to talk about coy wolves, okay? 2 minutes. We're going to open up the contest. Not yet. See, there the light just went out. It'll come back on in a minute. 2 minutes. There it is. I'll say the contest is open, and then you can make your comments. This is the last time for 2022. This is the last time. Sign Image in Saginaw does my graphics, Ross. Last time we're going to do this for 2022. I suspect we will do it again for Lent this spring, but we'll wait and see what. Hey, Joe, how you doing, buddy? It'll be up to Nick Grillo. So in just 1 minute now, we're going to open up the contest. You can make your comments about why you want to win a Michigan brand ham for the holidays. Obviously, the last chance for this year. You're not going to have it by New Year's, but Nick will get it out to you as quick as he can. If you have ever won a Michigan brand ham with us ever, please don't enter the contest. Second request I have, if you're going to give it to a needy family, and that's an honorable goal, please don't put it in your comments because it makes it almost impossible for Nick to overlook something like that. And we don't want to do that. So starting right now, you got 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Make your comments on why you want to win a Michigan brand ham for the holidays. I can fix it too, Cliff. Just swap it out. Michigan brand ham for the holidays. MichiganBrand.net, MichiganBrand.net. You've got 2 minutes. Make your comments now. David would like to try one. Dave would like to try one. They're great. Nick, what day? We had 2 of them here at the Avery house for Christmas. We had a spiral cut honey glazed for Christmas itself. And then we went to see my mom yesterday for Christmas, and we took one of the other ones. I like them both. You're right, Davina. You don't qualify now. MichiganBrand.net is the website, MichiganBrand.net. Nick Grillo is Dad Butch, a.k.a. Mike. Well, Mike, a.k.a. Butch. Joe Grillo, the entire Grillo family behind Michigan Brand Meats. Great people, great company, great Michigan-based, family-owned company, great products, MichiganBrand.net, MichiganBrand.net. 1 minute. 1 minute on why you would like to win a Michigan Brand ham for the holidays. A lot of comments. A lot of comments tonight. Nick, you're going to have your hands full, buddy, trying to figure out who it is. 45 seconds on the Michigan Brand ham for the holidays. 45 seconds. Let's see if we can set a new record tonight, or at least come close to the old record. 15 seconds. John says, prove to me Michigan Brand is better. 10, 9, 8, 7. You ready, John? 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I started out real soft, thinking I could get more time out of it. It was I made the wrong decision. That didn't work. So we're not going to set a new record tonight, but somebody is going to win a Michigan Brand ham for the holidays, courtesy of Nick Grillo, the Grillo family of Michigan Brand. 19 seconds. 22:08. What does our official timekeeper say? Heidi Bambach is tonight and the last winner for 2022 ham for the holidays. Heidi Bambach. If that's the wrong pronunciation, Heidi, I apologize. Heidi Bambach. 21-6. Yeah, it's pretty pathetic. Heidi, congrats to you. Please send me a private message here on Facebook with your shipping address, or send it directly to Nick. He's on here right now too, and he will get that out to you as soon as possible. This is the last ham for the holidays we will do for 2022. Nick Grillo, buddy, always appreciate your generosity, appreciate your partnership, appreciate your friendship. Thanks for working with me on the radio show, the podcast, and our Wednesday night lives as well. If you have not won a ham, you can go to the website, MichiganBrand.net. That's MichiganBrand.net. Use the store locator button, put in your zip code, and it'll show you a store near you where you can buy a Michigan Brand ham, the Mike Avery Hunter Sticks, any of the other great products, MichiganBrand.net. That's MichiganBrand.net. Congrats again to Heidi Bambach. Heidi, I apologize if I have it wrong. Mark Halston says, winter in Arizona, 50 degrees. Well, guess what, Mark? It's going to be 50 degrees here the next 2 days as well. Excellent, Heidi. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. We got the snowstorm. We got the snow. Hey, Jason, how you doing, buddy? Snowstorm. We got the snow. We got the ice. But now we've got this massive warm weather front coming in. We've got some rain. What's it going to do to the snow? What's it going to do to the ice? Well, isn't that interesting? A minimum of 75 hen turkeys miraculously showed up around here after not having any birds all spring and summer. I assume some might be chipped for tracking purposes. Scott has some interesting theories. I'd like to get him on the radio show to talk about this, but well, Scott, you've got an open invitation. You want to talk about it? I'm here. Okay. So let's talk about a few other things. Here's my not my resolutions, My goals for 2022: shoot a bear, shoot a Michigan deer, shoot a turkey, spend more time hunting and fishing, spend as much time on the angler quest on Saginaw Bay as possible, play more golf. My wife Denise and I started playing golf last summer after taking a 20-year hiatus. We fell back in love with it. I want to play more golf. I want to fish on the calm days and I want to golf on the windy days. Also, I want to continue to keep the weight off. It's been 4 years now since I had bariatric surgery. Lost 115 pounds. I have gained a little bit back. They said that's normal. I mean, you can't stay as low as when you bottom out. And I'm doing a pretty good job. And I want to continue to do a good job. So I'm going to keep working on that. I'm going to keep walking. I may even start jogging a little bit, go to the gym, lift some weights. So I want to work on that. I want to continue to promote the outdoors. I want to continue to encourage people to get out and hunt and fish and shoot and trap. I want to try to educate people, inform people, entertain people when possible about the benefits of hunting and fishing and shooting and trapping. I actually have not played the new. Here's an interesting story, Corey. You know the new 9 at Curry? I've not played it, but I used to bow hunt in there. Back when Doc Kane owned it, I bow hunted in there. Oh, that would be fun. That would be fun. Holy cow, Kevin, you're down 243 pounds? Oh, my Lord. Good job, buddy. That's impressive. And you're right, it's not easy. That's very impressive. Good for you. I'm proud of you, and I know you're proud of yourself. Nice job. Nice job. Okay. All right, let's talk about coy wolves, can we? I am not a biologist. I'm not a wildlife expert. But here's what I believe that I know. Now PBS has been pushing this. I think the Nature program has been pushing this. Be careful, Eli, what you say here. Be careful, Eli, what you say. Don't listen. Hear me out, please, before you make your comments on this. There are a certain group of people who are pushing the concept of coy wolves. And they're saying that is a crossbred animal between coyotes and wolves. I think that's very dangerous, and I'll go into detail here in a minute. But let's think about this for a second. No, I'm glad. For one thing, there is no biological definition of a coy wolf. Like there is, the Latin term for an animal. There is a Latin term and a biological definition for a coyote, and there is a Latin term and a biological definition for a wolf. There is no biological scientific term for an animal that's commonly being called a coy wolf. Also, people are saying that wolves and coyotes are breeding. Now, everybody I talk to who lives in wolf country, who has hunted wolves, who knows about such things, says they don't believe that, because if wolves move into an area, the coyotes move out. If wolves move into an area and the coyotes stick around, the wolves are going to kill the coyotes. They're not going to interbreed with the coyotes. They're saying that coyotes, because of interbreeding and because of this new thing called the coy wolf, they're saying that coyotes have wolf DNA. I don't doubt at all that there is residual DNA, wolf DNA, in coyotes. Because, you go back thousands and thousands of years, right? The evolution, somewhere along the line, there's going to be something going on. So I don't doubt that there is some wolf DNA, minimal, in coyotes, probably the same that's in domestic dogs. The reason I think it's so dangerous to buy into the coy wolf propaganda, concept, idea, is because once the antis figure this out and they grasp it, they're going to come after predator hunting. They're going to come after coyote hunting, because right now they will do everything in their power to fight every wolf hunt everywhere in the country. If they start putting 2 and 2 together and say, hey, we can also take out coyote hunting, predator hunting, by claiming that connection to the wolves, they're going to do it. So and I'm sure they will figure it out, but let's not us as hunters and anglers and shooters and trappers, let's not us help them, and let's not us buy into this whole concept, and let's not us promote this, and let's not us be talking about this online and stuff to get this whole thing going. I'm bringing it up now so we can hopefully put an end to this. Matt Chalk right there. Kyle Killing King right there. Matt, how would you like it if the antis decided, because there's this thing called, they say is called the coy wolf, or because they say there's wolf DNA in coyotes, how would you like it if the antis came in here in Michigan and raised a fuss, as they will do, and the Michigan DNR won't do anything about it, and they banned coyote hunting in Michigan? You wouldn't like it, would you? Let's not give them that opportunity. Let's not give them that opportunity. Hey, Randy, how are you? Yeah, Dennis says he believes coy dogs exist, which would be a cross between a coyote and a dog. The coy wolves. Matt said he would be greatly upset. John says they're already after predator hunting. They are. They're after predator hunting. They're after bear hunting. They're after anything that we use dogs to hunt with. They're after a lot of different things. So why would we want to help them out by buying into a concept that is not biologically or scientifically proven, despite what PBS and the nature program say? Now, listen, they've got huge resources, a lot of scientists and biologists, and a lot of money behind them. I'm not saying that I'm smarter than the people on PBS, because I'm sure I'm not. I'm just saying, from my perspective as a Michigan hunter and outdoorsman, that this could be a very slippery slope. And when I hear people talking about, I wonder if coy wolves are in Michigan now, don't even have that conversation online. It doesn't accomplish anything. Oh, Mike, what'd you find out about those tires? Can we get 35s under there without lifting that front end up a little bit? There was somebody who posted on here. In fact, I can find it real quick, Mike. They posted on here that if on that ZR2, because it's already lifted higher, that if we were going to put another lift under it, we'd have to change A-frame or something. Here we go. It was Patrick, in fact. He says, Mike, if you put a leveling kit on the new ZR2 to accommodate bigger tires, they recommend putting new A-arms on it, because the ZR2 is already 2 inches higher than a normal Silverado. So any reaction to that, Mike? A-arms. Yeah, why does the NRC give a platform to the antis? The NRC is obligated to listen to anybody who comes in and talks. But the problem is the antis are so well organized, and none of them have real jobs anyway. So they show up to the meetings and talk, and the rest of us have other things to do, so they don't show up. Hey, Sam, how you doing? Upper control arm. Okay. Would you need to change that out, Mike? I mean, this is starting to sound like a pretty, like a more sophisticated and to be honest, more expensive job than what I'm interested in at this point, because it's a nice looking truck right now. I would just like to get bigger tires on it if we can. 35 should work. We'll probably have interference at each steering lock. That's okay. That's okay. If they rub a little bit at full turn steering lock, that's okay. Especially like the last truck I had, the 35s under it did rub just a little bit at steering lock in reverse, but not forward. Hey, Sam, how are things at Jay's? JSportinggoods.com is a website for Jay Sporting Goods. Of course, Sam Austin is in the archery department there. Have you finally slowed down now, Sam? Are people starting to move on to other things like ice fishing? Jeff says, Mike Hampton said, Grandpa always said, if they don't rub a little bit, you're not big enough. Yeah. Jeff said, and this is a question, not possible to offset the rims a touch to eliminate the rub. That I don't know, Jeff, but I feel like that's, again, getting into a bigger job than what I want. Sam says, pretty slow on archery. First time in my lifetime, Scott Hand says, and he's old. He's been around like a long, long time. First time in his lifetime, bobcat hunting around our old stomping grounds starts on January 1st to 11th. I have 3 on my trail cameras recently, Montcalm County. You going to go after him, Scott? You gonna hunt them? Be a beautiful trophy, wouldn't it? A bobcat would be a wonderful, wonderful trophy. Ah, okay. What else? Hey, congrats to Heidi. Bombach, Bambach. I don't know, Heidi, but congrats. You've got a Michigan brand ham for the holidays coming. Evening, Billy. How are you? Nice to have you along with us on this edition of Wednesday Night Live. My name is Mike Avery. I'm here every Wednesday night at 7 o'clock talking about the great outdoors, the history and tradition of hunting, fishing, shooting, and trapping, primarily here in the great state of Michigan. But sometimes just about all caught up on crossbow repairs. Does that mean, Sam, that the crossbow's been blowing up? Jason, you're at Cabela's in Saginaw, right? Sam is at Jay's in Clare. Now, listen, I got nothing against Cabela's at all. But my loyalty is to Jay's Sporting Goods. Bumba? She said Bumba? Okay. Heidi Bumba. Okay. Bumba. Thank you. Thank you, John. Oh, I sure did, Dave. I smoked it probably within 2 days, and it was wonderful. Thank you very much. Bumba. Thank you, John. Good evening, Mike. How are you? Jason says he shops at both places. Yeah, I've had that truck since last Thursday. I rolled over 500 miles on it last night, and I haven't smoked a cigar in it yet until this morning. And I just couldn't take it anymore. So as I was sitting in the parking lot of the radio station waiting to go in, I fired one up, and it cracked the windows, and it was very, very good. Randy says, personally, I'd leave it as it is. It's one bad, truck. My son Nate just got his new Z truck and wanted to do the same. The cost wasn't worth it for him. Sam says, just a hard time getting parts quickly. Sam, have you guys seen the new 10-point that they just announced? Aren't these things unbelievable? The technology in these crossbows today, absolutely unbelievable. The speeds they're getting out of them. Now, listen, I'm no crossbow expert like Sam is. The state of the art, the bleeding edge stuff might make me a little bit nervous until it's proven. I might take a 2-year-old crossbow design that is still very fast and very reliable, but it's proven to be reliable, proven to be safe. That might be where I would lean. I am very interested in seeing what the new Darton crossbows are going to be like. They still are not going to have a cocking mechanism built into the bow. I'm disappointed in that, but they are, and I haven't seen them yet, but I've been told that the scope mount has been beefed up, and that's always been my complaint with the Darton crossbows. And I've told the guys at Darton that you've got a wonderful product, but that scope mount is just a little bit too flimsy. And if you're shooting at 20 or 30 yards, it's not that big a deal, right? But if you're shooting out at 50 yards or so, you don't want to get any flex or any movement or any deviation in that scope mount. You want it to be rock solid. And I'm real curious to see the new Dartons when they come out. I do not know if they will be unveiled at the ATA show or not. Sam said, Sam and I have had some offline conversations, and he's saying right now, like we talked about earlier this year, and this is Sam Austin from Jay saying he'd like to stay around 400 feet per second, and you should be good. 400 feet per second, you should be good. Interesting question. What's the score Saturday night going to be for Michigan TCU? Michigan TCU. And then an equally interesting question. What's the Georgia Ohio State score going to be? I really don't want to play Ohio State in a national championship. I'd rather play Georgia. 43-21, 42-24, 53-21. 53-21 Georgia. Ohio State would scare me again. Honestly, I got to tell you. 23-10 Michigan. Oh, Kevin's got it pretty close. UMich 24, TCU 20. It'll be interesting, won't it? It's going to keep me home New Year's Eve because I'm going to be watching football. Well, thank you, John. I appreciate that. This is something I enjoy doing. Eli says 24-12, Mish. Kara's got a low scoring game, 17-13. Still Michigan out on top. Going to be a great football night. There's no doubt about that. I can't. Georgia 38. That state to the south of us 17. That might be pretty close. See, that's what I'm thinking, Mike. That's exactly what I'm thinking. The odds of beating Ohio State twice in a row in one season. I would rather see Michigan play Georgia for a national championship than Ohio State, because if you're gonna lose, wouldn't you rather lose to a Georgia than an Ohio State? We would, yeah. Ohio State, I knew. But you're right, Scott. If they could do it, it would be epic. Epic. Craig says 34-14 Michigan. Davina says, don't think TCU is that good defensively to be a low-scoring game. You're right, Scott. If it did happen, it would be like, not to mention the bragging rights. Absolutely. Oh, let's see. No, yeah, that's what I'm afraid of, Landon. Really, Davina? Well, okay, I can see that. All right, my friends. I'm going to call it quits about 4 minutes early tonight. My daughter Shelby is here along with her fiance Aditya, and I don't know what the final deer count was. They've been with us since last Thursday. They came up a little bit early because of the blizzard. They wanted to get here, but they're heading home tonight, and they're getting ready to walk out the door. And I want to say goodbye to them, so I'm going to close this out. Well, we're only about 3 minutes early now. So how do we close out a Wednesday night live? What ways we do that? There's one of them. Boy, that seems like it's slow. Okay. I guess that's how we're going to end it tonight. My name is Mike Avery. This is Wednesday Night Live. My email address is mike@mikeaveryoutdoors.com. My website is mikeaveryoutdoors.com. Do not hesitate to reach out. I hope you and your family have a wonderful, blessed 2023, that you're happy, that you are healthy, that you are prosperous, and you get a chance to get outdoors as much as possible. Talk to you next time, my friends. Thanks for joining me on this edition of Wednesday Night Live.